Good morning, and
Good
thank you very
morning.
much. And thank you very much for being on this session today on a Sunday morning. It's a time to spend time with family. But let me congratulate you. You have taken the first step towards understanding the importance of stream selection, which is a part of the education planning uh, of your child. In today's session, um, first of all, I'm thankful to the Future Vista, Ravindra Kulkarni and Guru Shankar for inviting me on this session to have some words with you. Chalo batein kare hum, okay, आपके साथ. And this session, um, it's actually my endeavor to help various parents in the journey of their child's education and career planning. As rightly said by Ravi, current month, particularly April and May, most of the wise parents, they are always confused about the stream selection of the child, and this is the time wherein they are passing through a lot of dilemma, lot of confusion, pressure for the deciding the right career, or you can say the stream of the children. So this is the time to address the dilemma which is there in your mind or your DiL. So a DiL in dilemma, most of the parents must be facing in today's time. Okay, so let's begin with the journey of next 45 minutes, which will help you to understand the various aspects of not only stream selection. Stream selection is the very smallest part of the entire educational journey of a child. But holistically, today I'm going to talk about two things. One, I will be talking more about uh, obviously stream selection because that is a topic of our today's discussion. But apart from that, I will also help you understanding what is the scientific way of doing education planning. So let's move on. A small request to all of you. If you are not interacting with me for the question and answer, I would request you to keep your audio on mute. So that will help us to, uninterruptedly, listen everything what I'm going to talk about. So friends, the first step, as a parent, as an individual, all of us, we have to understand that in life, how many areas we can plan, be it an education, be it a career or a life. How many, avenues are there in life wherein we can't plan? Means planning is out of our control. And surprisingly, you will find there are only two things, three things probably. Usually, we are not able to plan. One is our birth, number two is our death, and number three, sometime our health. Except all these three events in life, we can plan everything in our life. And that's where I say, why to struggle when you can plan well? And this is what the philosophy I have always lived in my life and helping many other parents to live this, this theory of planning. So let's move on. My name is Makaran Bhatt, and today I will be taking you through this entire session. I am an international education and the career advisor and the parenting coach. So today we will be talking about education system. If you want to plan um, education of your child effectively and in a very scientific way, then first of all, the first step which you have to take is to understand what is the education system and whether this education system is helping or creating any roadblocks in the career management. So let's understand this first. So commonly known fact is the education starts with KG, and in most of the cases it ends by PG. That's a post graduation. There are certain students who are also pursuing for PhD, but I am not considering that part as because most of the students are not pursuing for the PhD. So if we have to look at the current education system we have to study, that is from KG to PG. So in this, entire KG to PG journey, there are four different, you can say, stages of our education. The first is starting from KG to standard 7th, or you can say standard 8th. Okay, this phase is known as value building phase. Why we are talking about value building? Because during this phase, the importance of value building is given more, and that's where students are studying or they are learning through various stories, anecdotes, activities. And during this particular phase, we are helping childs to build the proper value system of a society. So this particular phase wherein academic importance is always there, but the more focus is given on value building, because इसको हम संस्कार period कहते हैं, संस्कार. Okay. The second phase starts from 8th standard to 12th standard, and this phase is known as a formative phase. Why formative phase? Because here a lot of conceptual learning takes place. A lot of conceptual. Students study concepts, theories, and many other things during this particular phase. And that's why this phase is actually contributing the solid foundation of a child in his or her life. So this is very important phase. And probably many of you must be aware about the fact that in new education policy, government has now recommended to do stream selection instead of 10th standard. Now it should be done at the 8th standard. There are, a lot of schools are now in a phase to implement this new education policy. Obviously, it takes time. So there are different phases. This new education policy will be implemented. Probably this year or maybe next year, many schools will ask parents to start doing their stream selection when the child is in 8th standard. So never underestimate the importance of 8th standard and 8 to 12. The reason being, asking you to focus more in this area is in Indian society, stream selection is a subject which has been, which parents start discussing on a, dining table. It's a dining table conversation, even today, unfortunately. And that too when child comes into the 10th standard. So I really do not know how much importance has been given by many parents in this area. A request to keep your microphone on mute, please. But this particular phase should be given importance from the stream selection perspective also. So next phase is from first year to fourth or third year of the graduation, which is known as a undergraduation. This phase is known as a performance phase. Why for performance phase? Because whatever student has learned from 8th standard till 12th standard, he has to or she has to start implementing the learning in a college environment, in a free education environment, and they have to start performing. And here the focus is given on career focused learning. Academic importance is always there, but now the focus will shift from conceptual learning to the career focused learning. So that's the third phase of the student's life. The fourth phase is known as a research phase. That is post-graduation, 2 years of post-graduation. Why? Because post-graduation studies are always known as research-based studies. So these are the four stages. Unfortunately, in Indian context, some of the universities, they are still adopting the academic approach even in the post-graduation rather than this research approach. But anyway, these are the four stages of our Indian education system. Now this is applicable for all state, all boards, be it a state board, central board, or ICC board. Now look at the challenge. In our education system or even in our social system, we do not have a formal process of helping child to move from one phase to another phase. That is from value building phase to formative phase to performance phase, and performance phase to research phase. But even one more, from research phase, that is a post-graduation, we do not have a formal system to induct the students in a process of how to get ready for the next level. Our education system doesn't have that focus. Our even social system doesn't have this focus. And why am I talking about all this thing? Because I know you are a sensible parents spending your Sunday morning with me today to understand the education, planning, and stream selection. So parents, please understand, when we are sending child in a best of the best school or the coaching classes, I think that is not sufficient now. We have to help our students to make the gradual progression in their life, progression in their academic life, rather. So this is what the current education system, and that's why the entire education system is performance driven. It is not learning driven. We are usually asked this. For us, intelligent student is a student who score well. If child has scored 80%, 90%, 95%, 8.5 CGPA, 9 CGPA, 9.5 CGPA, then we are comfortable. Oh, my son or my daughter, they are excellent in academics. Parents, probably, if we are having this kind of approach, then we are actually making a mistake. They have produced the numbers, but what about the learning? Because we are caught up in a rat race. For us, numbers are everything. But I think education is beyond number. Education is something related to learning first and performance at a later stage. I think this is something which we have to understand as a parents. So, because of this, there are certain problems faced by the student, because student is into the center. So what kind of problems these students are facing? Primarily, the what student think about his or her career or maybe future education is highly influenced by this many constituents from the society. It starts from parents, social media, teachers, neighbors, media, relative, friends, and now the most talked about technology, that is artificial intelligence technology, that also actually influencing the interest of a child. Can you see anything missing out here? You can, if you really think about it. And why am I talking about this? Because I'm helping you to understand the gaps of education. Either parents are influencing the stream selection, or the teachers are influencing. I was talking to one of the student recently, and that student has opted PCM in 11th, the physics, chemistry, and that's an A group. And I asked why. Then the student said, I'm scoring good in maths. That's why my teacher suggested me to take the science stream. I said, what about the other two, chemistry and physics? And surprisingly, the student is struggling there for various reasons. That's a separate story. So here the influence is coming from all the constituents of the society, without understanding the real crux, that is the potential intelligence of the child. So how this thing actually impact on child? So there are two levels of problems I will be discussing. The first is at a school education level. When the stream selection kind of very important aspect, which has been influenced by many people around child, creating lot of challenges for student. First is fear of failure, stress, anxiety, confusion, many times no confidence or a low confidence, and so many things. Parental expectations are also very high. On the other side, education path is not very clear. We are talking about education, but we do not have that clarity about the education path, which should be taken by the student. This creates a lot of social and the peer pressure, and because of which the students are becoming the victim of various bad habits. Okay, and let's not forget that there is a huge impact of the technology and media on the child. So let's understand the psychology of a child who doesn't know anything about a career, who doesn't know anything about the scientific way of choosing the right stream, but that student has to take the very important decision about his or her life. On the other side, parents are having the expectations, very high expectations. Very high expectation, and that also I'm going to discuss at the end of the session today. Okay, which is creating a lot of pressure on child. When child is into pursuing the higher education, and many students nowadays there is a trend who are pursuing their higher studies abroad, okay, or even in India. Okay, what kind of problems they are facing? There is a complexity in the admissions, and why admission complexity I will be talking when I will actually take you through this stream selections process. You will understand that how many options are available, which are creating a lot of complexity in the mind of student and parents. There is absence of professional advice. Now, as per MHRD guidelines, every school should have one counselor for a set of 250 students. Means 1:250 students ratio is there. Now, if you look at the number of students who are studying in India, if we really make the proper statistics in place, we need minimum 2 million counselor. I'm talking about 2 million certified and qualified counselors in Indian education system. Vis-a-vis this, we hardly have 1 lakh certified counselors which are available in the various schools. And most of the time you will find some of the schools, private schools, they are having the counselors. So where is that professional advice available for parents and students to get? Okay, students doesn't know how to do the program personalization. Why particular program is suitable for me, they really do not know. There is no skill or career mapping which is happening. Okay, the students do not know how to select program, and if they are going abroad, how to select even country also. So all these things are creating a lot of psychological pressure both on student as well as on parents. So how to take care of this? So let's understand what is our education, how we are taking the education and the career decision. Okay. Sorry. So career decisions largely either taken by parents or influenced by parents. And I'm sure you will agree with this. And how do we take this decision as a parent? The way my parents have taken a decision for me in my life. So we are actually using 30, 35 years old methods of taking the career decision or the education decision. For the student who will be having his another 30, 35 years of career remain. 30 साल पुरानी चीज हम आने वाले 30 साल के लिए यूज करते हैं. Okay, there are friends who are influencing the career education and career decision of the student. There are relatives who are influencing. Okay, there is a Google. Okay, nowadays everyone has handy advisor available. That's a Google. कुछ भी नहीं मिला Google पे डालो, Google will answer you. Okay, so Google is also now influencing the education and career decision, and sometimes even teachers also, right? So according to you, and here I would like people to respond in their chat box. According to you, who is influencing the, or who is influencing the education and career decision in a right way? The student's interest or parental expectation? What is more important? You can answer this question. What is more important when it comes to the education and career decision? The interest of the student or the parental expectation? Okay. Interest. Okay, go on. Just open your chat box and give me answer. Or you may have any other answer. You can also give me other answer other than this too. Yeah, very good. Students' interest. Everyone is talking about student interest. Very good. Very good. Keep on. Yeah, I really like your participation. Students' interest is more important while taking the career decision. Thank you very much for responding me. Okay, and you can keep responding me as and when if you find it suitable. Okay, so let's look at the process of taking the smart decision. I hope all of you will agree that education and a career decision is a very important decision of a life, and it has to be smart. Okay, so now I will seek your intervention or probably your inputs or your feedback on this. According to the years of practice which I did in the space of education and career, while taking the right career decision or the education decision, the focus on potential intelligence of the child is very, very important. How many of you agree? Just hit agree. Okay, I'll also address this question. If student is not clear with his interest, what can be done? I'll answer this question. Okay. How many of you agree that education and career decision should be based on the potential of a child, not anything else? Okay, agree. Thank you very much. Okay, and you keep giving me your feedback. The second is the current academic performance of a child. How many of you agree with this? Just put A. That's all. You need not to write agree. Just put A. I'll get to know. Okay. So second is academic performance. Very good. Keep responding. Keep responding. The third, the family setup. You might have seen a lot of people. For an example, lawyer's child will become lawyer, doctor's child will become doctor. Why? Because there is a one family setup or the family ecosystem exists, which actually help child to make good progress or achieve success in that particular stream. Okay, keep hitting your, okay, not agree, Chitresh. I will definitely consider your point as well. Okay, Rohit, yes, agree. Next. Parents' background. When I say parents' background, it's education and a profession of a parents is equally important for the education and a career decision of a child. If you agree, put A in your chat box now. Next is, now here it comes, the own interest of the child. What child is expecting? What he or she finds interesting in his life? Okay. Chitresh is also not agreeing with the own interest. Fair enough. I'll accept your feedback. And the last is what kind of career aspiration the child is having. Okay. All these things are impacting or should impact the education and the career decision, either taken by student as well as by parents. Majority time parents, because parents are supporting the child. Parents are helping the child to take the right career decision or the education decision. And this is something is known as smart decision. So now if you have to take the right or the smart decision, the first step of education planning is a stream selection. And many of you are now on that crossroad to decide which stream is advisable for your child. Popularly known, we are having three streams of education: science, commerce, arts. But within this, there are two parts of the stream. One is core stream and applied stream. Means core science, applied science. Core commerce, applied commerce. Core arts, applied arts. So now here, I'll just take you through how many options or how many types of programs and careers which are available in each stream. So let's start with the core science. If you wish, you can also take a screenshot. Okay, so in a core science, the student can study subjects like physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, earth science, astronomy, material science, computer science. And friends, first of all, this is not a complete list. This is just a partial list. I just want to give you a lot of food for your thoughts, just to think. Okay, so this is not the complete list. These are few examples. Now, if student is studying is let's say subject like physics, what kind of careers he or she can expect? Astrophysicist, particle physicist, quantum physicist, material scientist, aerospace engineer, etc. In chemistry, like chemist, pharmaceutical scientist, analytical chemist, environmental chemist, food scientist. All these kind of careers which are available. You can certainly take the screenshot and you can study this, because there are most of the career normally common men have never heard about. Okay, so this is first part, that's a core science. Second, if it comes to applied science, then what? In applied science, we have engineering, medicine, biotechnology, environmental science, agriculture, forensic science, veterinary science, information technology, and so on and so forth. Okay, and these are the few examples of the careers which student can think of becoming. Many times students are completely unaware about what kind of career options are available to them. And this is in my experience, when I'm talking to the students, they hardly know anything about what kind of careers options are available for them, even if they are having a clarity about the which stream they should take. Okay. Next is core commerce: accounts, finance, economics, business management, marketing, banking and insurance, international business and marketing. These are the few options which are available. When it comes to applied commerce, retail management, supply chain management, hospitality management, human resource, entrepreneurship, real estate, sports management, human resources, this kind of careers, if your child is taking the applied commerce. Look at core arts: finance, performing arts, literature, history, philosophy, linguistic. So if your child is looking for making his or her career into arts, these are the few examples which are available for you to think on. For applied arts, graphic designing, animation, fashion designing, photography, advertising, interior, industrial design, animation, and VFX, and so on and so forth. Actually, arts are having two parts. One is humanities and another is creative arts. Okay, these are the two broad areas of arts stream. So these are the few options which I thought of sharing with you, which can certainly ignite a thought in your mind that there are many careers which we never think of, we never thought about them, we never discussed about them. Okay, which are now exist. There are various careers which are moving out, or you can say they are becoming redundant now by virtue of a lot of technological innovations and all. The roles, there are certain career roles, they have expired now, new careers are emerging. So keeping those things in mind, I'm just sharing this with you. So now, when we are talking about stream selection, I took you through the education system of India, the challenges faced by students and parents, how it impact. Okay, and now we will be talking about not only stream selection, but how entire education journey of a child can be made personalized and guided for that child and parents. So now I'm going to talk about the personalized and guided education planning, and stream selection is a part of it. So what is personalized and guided education planning? First, there are 5-step approach. First, identify the potential of your child first. Identify what is the raw material you have. See, child is a raw material. Parenting is a process. When you have identified your potential, raw material, and you are applying the right process on that raw material, your product will be the world class. I'm using this metaphor for your better understanding. So raw material is always good. We just have to refine our process on it. Number two, once you are identified the potential intelligence of your child, that will help you to identify the suitable career of your child. Friends, please understand. Without understanding the destination, that is a career, never ever think of, deciding the stream of the child education. Because unless you have identified the destination where you would like to travel, how can you create the path which can help you to reach to that destination conveniently and successfully? So the third step, post your suitable career identification, then you go for stream selection. And when you have selected the stream, that will help you to identify the subject, which subject you should study. Like for an example, if your child has already thought of, or you have identified engineer as a career for your child, then science will become the stream and the PCM will become the subjects. But if your child is looking for medicine as a career, then again stream will remain science, but the subject will be different. That will be PCB, physics, chemistry, and biology. So that's the importance of identifying the stream and the subject. And when you are clear about all this thing, then the last point is which type of programs will help your child to get that career. So career, see, stream selection is not an academic decision. Stream selection is a career decision. It's a life decision. So never ever make a smallest mistake in selecting the stream in a scientific way. Right? I'll also tell you what is scientific way. Please remember, friends, there is no control Z available. Control Z means undo options available in life most of the time. And education and the career decision is one of them. Okay. So what will be the solution? How we can bridge this entire gap? We discussed about the gaps in education. We also discussed the gap into our, approach in stream selection, subject, career selection, and education planning. So the solution is identify the potential intelligence of your child. When I am talking about potential intelligence, it includes the study and career potential, how your child achieve the success, that's an achievement pattern, how your child think, that is a thinking pattern, what's his or her learning and communication style, what are the different quotients, IQ means intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, visual quotient, etc., which is known as a work ability, and finally what's the personality of your child. There is a scientific tool which is available which can help you to identify all these things, and based on this then you can start planning the entire career and education. So I told you about identifying the potential intelligence first, so there is a test or the assessment available. Based on that assessment report, you will first identify the career subjects, career streams and subject, and once it's been done, then we can certainly help you in understanding which all academic activities are essential for your child other than school or college activities, which can help him to become more employable in his life. So there is a scientific approach behind this. Okay. So other than the regular studies, we can help you to identify which academic activities are essential for your child. Which non-academic activities are essential for your child? Why non-academic? Because non-academic activities are helping your child to build the right attitude towards life and the career. Non-academic activities will groom their attitude, value system, and overall character of your child, which is very, very important and which is a missing link in our current education system to an extent. Next is habit re-engineering. Consciously, subconsciously, our children, they are developing certain habits which may become roadblocks in their career and education. So keeping career in mind, which kind of habits are needed for them to develop or to nurture, that entire process is important for every child, which is known as a habit re-engineering. Next is a physical grooming. Every career needs a specific, physical fitness and the endurance which is needed. So there are certain activities which can help you to groom your physics. And the last is, even if your child is capable of becoming a doctor, but if your child has not conceived to become a doctor here, or the psychological grooming has not been done, in spite of having potential, he or she may not be able to become a doctor. So parents, it is very, very important for parents to conduct certain, psychological grooming exercises for the children. And this is something, when we do all this thing, then this become the guided and the focused education planning. This entire exercise is made for four things. First, education has to be learning based, not only the marks or performance based. Number two, performance is equally important. Okay, because that's a measurement of your success. So learning and performance. Third, it should also help you to develop and nurture right life values. And the fourth and last, and I'm sure all parents will agree on this, that whatever we are doing for our children in the area of education and career planning, it is to make them employable in their life. Because education without employability is of no use. And I'm sure you must have read a newspaper in the recent past wherein it talks about that in India, hardly 24% of MBA graduates, they are employable. Only 24% they are employable. The rest are not employable. Only 31% of engineering graduates, they are employable in the industry. Others are not. So others are having degree, but they are not employable. And we cannot make our child employable overnight. We cannot make our child employable merely with the degree. So there's a whole lot of the process which parents have to understand and need to be implemented to make their child most successful in their education as well as his career. So now let's understand how many types of parents are there, because parents are also equally key influencer of success of the child. So let's understand the types of parents. We are having a lot of democratic parents around us. Beta, you decide what you want to be. We will there to support you always. Democratic parent. With all due respect, these parents, they are expecting their child to take the career and the education decision, for which probably he doesn't or she doesn't have that maturity. But instead of taking that accountability to help the child in career selection or the stream selection, parents are just becoming, passing on their accountability to the child. Beta, you decide whatever you want to be. We are there to support you. And we are having this kind of parents around us. There are second category of parents, or second type of parents. But I wanted to be an engineer, but I couldn't for some reasons. But I want you to fulfill my wish now. मैं engineer नहीं बन पाया for some reasons, but now I want you to be an engineer. And that becoming an engineer is a success matrix for those parents. Means I was not capable, but And even I don't know whether you are also capable or not, but I want you to fulfill my wish. That's an aspirational parents. There are third category of parents, which are known as autocratic parents. But I am a successful doctor, and I want you to be the doctor only. This type of parents, for them, anything less than what they have achieved in their life is unsuccess, or you can say the child will remain unsuccessful if they are not coming at par to that parents. So they have a different parameters of success in their life. Here in all these three categories, parents are not worried about of understanding and helping child to identify the potential first, but they are having the set of expectations. There are alarming statistic. I do not want to discuss those statistics here on this platform, because here I am talking about the opportunities. I'm not going to talk about the challenges. So I will not, those shattering statistics I will not discuss here, which are caused because of democratic, aspirational and autocratic parents. But there are fourth category of parents also we have in a society, which are known as wise parent. What a wise parent means, beta, we will first identify your potential, and based on it, we will take career and education decision. So far in last 13 years, to be precise, I have met such 1,913 parents in last 13 years, whom I have helped them in achieving success in their life. So we are having the fourth category. I really do not know where do you find yourself in this category, but I certainly would be interested to see all of you in the fourth category of parents, or the fourth type of the parents, the wise parent. Okay. Let's understand, the approach taken by the parents. There are three different approaches. One, most of the parents, they are playing a role as an informer. They are just informing what is expected from the child. What you should do, what you should not do, what am I expecting from you, what am I not expecting from you, what is right, what is wrong. So they are the fence sitter, or probably they are sitting on Mount Everest, and telling the children what is expected from them. That's all. Role of a parent as an informer, nothing beyond that. There is a second approach, is there are sensible parents who says that I want you to be a performer. Okay, so I will there with you and I'll ensure that you will become a performer. So they are just being with the children in every walk of their academic life, okay, and later stage career also, and ensuring that the children achieve performance, achieve success. Now for that, if coaching is needed, they will give the coaching. They will provide every financial resources, every other resources like books, whatever they want. By doing everything, their entire goal is to ensure that their child become performer. But there is a third approach. Many parents have seen taking the role of a parent as a player. Now, normally I give this one example to every parent. What does it mean by taking the approach of a player? I'm sure as a parent, most of the time we are telling and we were asking our children, child to study well. Beta padne ke liye baitho. Okay, sit to read books and all. Okay, the player and parent will ensure that let's sit together. You also read, I'll also read. You read your book, I'll read my book. Player. They will never suggest, or they will never just inform the child. If this category of parent, if they want their child to do physical exercise, they will also do the physical exercise along with the child. If they want to quit the junk food, when they want their child to quit the junk food, they will also quit the junk food. It means they are working with their child shoulder to shoulder, player. And parents, I leave it to your wisdom that which type of parenting approach will be certainly useful to you in your situation. But yes, one thing I can certainly tell you that most of the successful children, when I see their life, okay, when I see their family setup, I usually find that parent adopting the approach of a player, not just an informer or a performer. So this is something which is very, very essential in the process of, or in the process of strength selection. So friends, again, I'm telling you, why to struggle when you can plan well? And now here, I'm opening this session for question and answer.